What's up, everybody? JJ here with Thriveistry, and today I wanted to talk about the most common things that ruin people's backs in Metcons. So, CrossFit has a reputation for wrecking people's backs. I don't think that's a surprise to most people. I think it's gotten better as people have gotten a lot more intelligent about their programming. People aren't doing as long of Metcons. They're actually planning them and not making up as they go. So you guys who are programmers, good job. If you're still making it up as you go, or you have a coach you think is not making up as you go, you better make sure. You better demand that they send you that programming in advance and they talk about the plan and everything. Just keep in mind that a lot of people, when time gets short and they have a lot of other things to do, the last thing they want to do is sit on a computer Sunday night at 10:30 p.m. and they got a coach at 5 a.m. They're going to shortcut and they're not going to do is good on the programming. So make sure people are planning. But I still see these things come up, so I figured I'd talk about it. One of the biggest things that I see is large sets, especially with things like medium to heavy deadlifts, power cleans, excessive, huge sets of kettlebell swings for multiple rounds. All of these things tend to really be hard on people's backs. And you combine that. Remember, people are coming multiple days, and then sometimes you see that stuff show up in multiple days in a row, and I just shake my head because I know there's going to be a lot of people with sore backs from that. The other thing is the combination of things like toes to bar and deadlifts, or anything that's going to require a lot of core flexion or core stability, and then something that's very posterior chain where we're using our core, and now people are maybe extremely winded, and now they're breathing, and now they can't stabilize their midline, so then we see things happen. A common one is high rep overhead squats in a Metcon, because when people have their arms up over their head, they're having to stabilize, and they're taking these huge deep breaths because they're winded. Again, they're not stabilizing, and we can see back tweaks from that as well. Another one that I've talked about before is the hyperextending of the back on a burpee and then rounding as they stand up. You take that spinal flexion and extension, and then you combine it with something like a medium or heavy deadlift, especially for more than 5 or 10 reps. Now we've got a recipe where people are going to throw their backs out for sure. And so just be aware if you're creating programming, if you're going to do heavier deadlifts, do smaller sets. Put it at the beginning of the round and have a minute rest afterwards. So every time they go back up to that bar, it's after a forced rest of at least a minute. That's one way to incorporate those things. There's rare instances where you might want to do 20 or 30 deadlifts or something similar at a heavier weight. But for the most part, we don't need to be programming 30 deadlifts at 225 per round or something like that, which I've seen. We don't need to be doing 50 snatches or all these 50 thrusters. The problem is what's the training benefit that you're going to get. That's going to build some mental toughness, and it's going to challenge people. And if people are kind of thinking about competing, there's some argument for that. So I'm not saying you can never do it, but I see it showing up regularly. And for regular people, we don't need to be doing that stuff with regular people. Do more rounds. Have smaller sets. Use a little bit lighter loads, and you're going to get a much better training effect. People are going to be less sore in general, and they're going to be far less likely to injure or strain their backs. That's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next video.